Hi, it's your English teacher, Kat, again. Welcome or welcome back. Today, I thought we'd do some information about my country, Australia. So I've generated some general questions that you would ask a person about their country. This will be a good idea so you can improve your English and learn about Australia. It's a 2 for 1. Okay, so the first question about my country is, what is a local celebration or festival? So in Australia, we celebrate Christmas and Easter like other Western countries. A more local holiday or celebration is Australia Day. Australia Day is on the 26th of January. It's customary on Australia Day to just get together with friends and family and have a barbecue, maybe in a park or possibly just at home. There are also some government-run celebrations. So you can go into the city and maybe hear some music and, of course, end the day with fireworks. So lots of different things you can do on Australia Day. My city has its own celebration day, and it's called Moomba. So I live in Melbourne, Australia, in the south, and we celebrate Moomba in March. Moomba is just a celebration to get together. The local government put on a festival. So there are attractions and food trucks. It goes for a few days over the weekend, and it's a lot of family fun. There's also a parade. I went to the parade a few years ago. It's not a big parade, but it's a lot of fun, and it gets a lot of local community groups together and gives them an opportunity to showcase what they do for the community. It's great. Okay, the next one. Are there any unique customs or superstitions in my country? No, I don't believe there are. We have superstitions like everybody else. They probably come from Britain, which is our heritage. So, but local customs, no. I think we don't do anything special that other countries don't do. What about a common everyday dish? Okay, so we do have a couple of those. We like to eat meat pies. So it's a pie, but not a sweet pie. It's a savoury pie. So inside is minced beef. You can get a chicken pie, but traditionally it's beef, and they are delicious. We have competitions. So bakeries from all over the country enter a competition to see who makes Australia's best pie. So famously, we love a meat pie. I think a meat pie is popular because you can just hold it with one hand and eat it, leaves the other hand free for something else, a drink, shaking hands, anything you like. Our other traditional foods are sweet dishes. So pavlova is common. Pavlova. It's named after a person, I think, I hope. And it's a sweet dish that we would have for dessert. The other one is a lamington, and that's a cake. If you make a plain cake and you cut it into slices, maybe so square, dip it in melted chocolate, and then while the chocolate is wet, we toss it around in some coconut. So then we let it set and we eat it. It sounds a bit weird, but it's a lamington and it's also very delicious. Let's see what else you might ask. How do people typically spend their weekends or leisure time in Australia? So, of course, everyone is different. In Australia, we love sport. So, a large number of our population go to watch or play sport. Popular in Australia is Australian rules football. In my city and a couple of other cities, it's the most famous sport. So a lot of kids play football, or Australian football. Soccer is also very popular in my city and other cities. So a lot of kids play soccer too. Rugby league or rugby union, not so much in my city, but other cities, it's very popular. What else? Basketball, of course. So in the summer months, basketball and cricket are very popular when there's no football to watch or play. Girls, most commonly girls, like to play netball. Netball is a little bit like basketball, not as physical, but not easy. And a lot of younger girls like to play netball. So sport takes up a lot of weekend time for families. A lot of mums are driving their kids around from sporting ground to sporting ground. Other pastimes are renovating your home, going for drives in the car. A country drive is very popular. Shopping, a lot of people hit the shopping centres, especially if it's raining, because it's a comfortable, dry place to be on a rainy day like today. Today is raining and I have a storm happening outside. So if I suddenly disappear, you'll know why. The storm has taken me out, taken out the power. What other things do we do on the weekend? We love to get outdoors. So going away for a weekend to the countryside or the beach, or just going for a day trip to the countryside or the beach. Also very popular. People keep pretty busy on the weekends. Let's have a look at the next question. What is the best part of your country to visit that's not a typical tourist spot? Most overseas tourists know about Sydney. Sydney's very popular, but it's all they know. My city, I believe, is a more exciting city to visit. There's a lot to do. It's about the same size as Sydney, but as far as not popular for tourists, I don't know. Maybe go to the wineries. There's some beautiful winery areas in Australia. So I think going to the wineries is a good idea. What is the landscape like in my region? So I live in Melbourne, which is in the state of Victoria, in the south of Australia. It's a small state. So from the city of Melbourne, within a couple of hours or 2 hours to 3 hours, you can be on the mountains in the snow in the winter time, or you can be at one of the best surf beaches in the world called Bells Beach. So we have wine regions, mountain areas, beach areas. We have a lot of farming, a lot of farm areas. So we have a little bit of everything. A lot of lakes with water skiing also in Victoria. So I think there's something for everyone. And you don't have to go too far to find things to do. The next question says, how would you describe the people and their daily life? I think Australians are pretty easygoing, relaxed people. We're not too uptight or angry. We like a work-life balance. So we are working hard, but we're also playing hard. So we enjoy our weekends to ourselves. Yeah, not too serious about ourselves, I think Australians. We can have a laugh at ourselves and at others. Let's see what else it says. If I was to leave Australia, what would I miss the most other than the people? Um, Vegemite, meat pies. Um, I don't know. I don't know what else I'd miss. I think Australians are not too different to other people in the world. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I think mainly just the people. Yeah. What's the climate like throughout the year? Well, this is a good question. Because Australia is such a big, vast country, our climate changes from place to place. If you're in the northern parts of Australia, it's closer to the equator. So it's tropical, hot and humid, with rainy seasons in the summer and a dry winter. So it's a tropical climate. I live in the south. It is not tropical here. We have a true 4 seasons in a year. So summer, winter, spring, and autumn. Autumn. In Australia, we don't say fall for the season, we say autumn. So in autumn, the leaves change color on the trees as we prepare for the winter. It's beautiful. I love it. Every week I look out the window and it looks different from the week before with the different colored leaves changing. Summer is hot. I think on average, summer would probably be around 30 degrees. But 2 or 3 times a year, we have extreme hot temperatures. So it can reach 43. But it's okay because it doesn't happen very often and it usually only lasts for 1 day. So if it's 43 today, don't stress. Tomorrow is probably going to be in the 20s. So it's easy to cope. In the northern parts of Australia, when it's hot all year round, they don't get super hot temperatures into the 40s so much, but it's just relentless heat. And summer is long. In the winter, in my city, we would probably expect an average day to be between 9 and 14. It's not too cold. No cities in Australia have snow. So if you want to go skiing to the snow, you have to travel to the mountains. And only on top of the mountains will you find the snow. So I think it's perfect. Okay. What is the most interesting or unique thing about my country? My country is young as far as settlement goes. So not a lot of history to talk of. But what makes us interesting? I think just the people. I think the people are interesting because it's a very multicultural country. So people come here from all over the world, especially in Melbourne, my city. So I think the people have wonderful backgrounds and experiences and stories to tell. What is a local or hidden or famous landmark that I love? My city's famous for food and coffee. So we have great food and coffee. So I think the best hidden things about my city is going to be restaurants. You just find this little gem of a restaurant that has the best food. Maybe people don't really know about it. Maybe it's in the city. Perhaps it's not in the city. It's in the suburbs. But yeah, finding a great place to eat or a great cup of coffee. There's so many great baristas in Melbourne. So lots of cafes that have wonderful coffee and really good atmosphere. So they're the best things about it, I think. Let's see. What's another question you might ask about someone's homeland? Is it safe to visit my country? That's a good question. Yes, it is. It is safe to visit my country. I think, like most places, you have to be careful when especially for a lady, walking around the city by themselves at night. I wouldn't like to be walking around by myself at night. So, yeah, just being careful. But overall, it's a very safe place. Yeah. What is the political system in my country? I don't like to talk about politics on here, so we'll leave that one. We have two main parties, and the other thing that is interesting about our political system is it's compulsory to vote in Australia. So everybody over the age of 18 must vote. So, here's another one. What special attractions can be found in different cities? In my city, or not far from my city, I think something that's very special is a place called Phillip Island, because Phillip Island has a colony of penguins living in the wild. And they have set up a national park so you can go and view the penguins. Every day, the penguins wash up on the beach from the ocean where they've been feeding all day in the sea. And they do like a little penguin walk up the beach to their nest to feed their babies. And you can view it. And it is one of the most amazing things to see. And as I said, it's not a zoo, it's nature. So it's a wonder, just a wonder. Other great attractions. We have a fabulous sporting ground in my city called the MCG, the Melbourne Cricket Ground. We play cricket on that ground, obviously, but we also use it for Australian rules football and sometimes some international sports. So that's pretty special to go and have a look. You can do a tour, have a look around. It's a big stadium and it's a lot of fun to look at. Let's have a look. Okay, we don't want political questions. Oh, okay. So here's something asking about mining. So Australia has very rich mining industry. So a lot of things are mined here in Australia. Precious metals, precious stones, coal, of course, lots of different things. So, yeah, that keeps us a bit of a rich country because of our mining. And, of course, because we're so big, agriculture is huge in Australia. So we grow a lot of things in Australia. There's not much that we don't grow. So we have my area or my state grows fruits like citrus fruits, apples, peaches, plums. Up north, we get your tropical fruits, avocados, mangoes, pineapple, banana, so sugar cane. So a lot of things grown around Australia. What languages are spoken in my country? Obviously, we speak English. But because my city is multicultural, you will hear a lot of different languages being spoken if you're out and about. While you're shopping, on the train, on the bus, you will hear a lot of different languages. Mothers speaking to children in other languages, or people on the phone speaking in other languages. It's a wonderful thing to hear people speak in their own language. And because of that multiculturalism, of course, that means that we have a lot of population with accents. So I find it pretty easy to understand people when they talk to me with an accent, probably because I grew up in this city. Here's another one. Mm. Is there a national costume in my country? No, we do not have a national costume. I wish we did. And I wonder if we did, what would it be? I don't think it would be very fancy or very nice. Maybe a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. I admire countries who have a national costume and they've held on to that tradition throughout the years. I think it's wonderful. But no, not in my country. We don't have anything like that. This question says, did my country gain independence from another country? No. So my country is still part of the Commonwealth, which means it's under the British rule. Even though we have our own government, we are still part of the Commonwealth under the British rule. So the King of England is also our king. Some Australians like the idea of being part of the Commonwealth, others don't and would like to be independent. Personally, I don't care. I don't think it changes my life too much, so I don't really care. Let's have a look at animals. Is there a lot of wildlife in my country? Oh, yes. Now, in my country, we do have a lot of wildlife, but we don't have dangerous animals. So we don't have bears or animals that are going to be of high danger to humans. We do have, however, dangerous snakes and spiders. A lot of dangerous snakes. Most of the most dangerous snakes are here in Australia. So we do have to be careful of that. It's not like we're going to see a snake in our backyard in the city. This is not happening. But if you're going to the countryside, you might see a snake, or even in a park, a big park near a creek near the city, you might see a snake. I think we just know, we grow up knowing just to be aware of our surroundings. So, yeah. Of course, we're famous for kangaroos and koalas, but we also have a lot of other national animals. So that are native to Australia: wombats, platypus, echidna, lots. So, yeah, I'd rather walk around thinking a snake might be nearby than a bear attack me. I don't know how people go walking through the bush or through the countryside knowing there are bears wandering around. Oh, scary. Also, talking about kangaroos and koalas, but mainly kangaroos. I know a lot of people see on YouTube videos of kangaroos hopping down the street. Like, this is a common thing that we just see kangaroos hopping down our street. Open the front door, oh, there goes a kangaroo. No, this is not happening in Australia. So if we drive out to the countryside, yes, of course, especially as the sun goes down, we will probably see kangaroos hopping around. This is when they get active and go looking for food. So you will probably see a kangaroo in the wild if you go looking for them. Otherwise, you're not going to see them hopping down the street. Another thing about kangaroos is they're not going to come and box you. They're not boxers. They won't come near you. They'll hop away from you because they're probably scared. So they will only defend themselves by boxing if they have to, if they feel threatened. Yeah. Don't believe everything you see on TV. Don't believe everything you see on YouTube. And other animals in Australia, of course, are pets. We love pets. A lot of people like cats, but a lot of people love dogs. So most people own a cat or a dog or more than one. Personally, I'm a dog person, not a cat person. So I have a dog. I have a young dog at the moment. He's just over 1 year old, so he's a little bit troublemaking little dog. He's still learning to be a good boy. But yes, dogs are very popular. I noticed when I went to Europe in 2024 that dogs were very popular and dogs were welcome everywhere, on the train, on the bus, inside the restaurants. Not in Australia. Most cafes have a bowl outside. So if you're eating outside, you can bring your dog. They're welcome, and they will provide water for your dog. And some cafes will have a little doggy meal on the menu. And they also make little puppuccino. It's like a cappuccino, but it's a puppuccino. It doesn't have coffee in it. It's just a little bit of milk and froth in a cup for the dogs. So I would love to be able to take my dog to the restaurant inside, but this is not happening in Australia. You don't see people with cats. Cats are a home pet. People don't take them out, but people definitely take their dogs out in Australia. On the weekends, you see so many people walking their dogs. We have parks dedicated to dogs, and so a lot of different places are catering for dogs now. I like to take my dog to the cafe every weekend for coffee, and then we take him to a park so he can run around and get some of that puppy energy out of his system. Okay. Anything else? Other pets, some people like to keep fish and some people like to keep birds. I don't think birds are as popular now as they used to be, but some people do like to have a bird outside. And I think fish tanks are a lot of work, so they're not so popular anymore. When I was young, fish tanks were more popular, but not now. Okay, I think that'll be it for today. We've done about half an hour. Hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about Australia. I would love some questions about Australia, and then I can answer them because it's hard for me to know what you'd like to know about Australia. But we'll do some more another day. And until tomorrow, I'll be back tomorrow. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.